Hello, friends. Thanks for tuning in to another midweek. I'm Pastor Jeff, and I get the privilege of leading this session. And I wanted to share with you just a little personal note. The book of James is my favorite New Testament book. I love the book because it is so practical. It's a call to action. Over 90% of the verbs in the book of James are imperative verbs, which are a motivating call to do something. And one of the lines that I love in the book of James is when he defines what pure religion looks like. He says in chapter 1, verse 27, "This is pure and undefiled religion, that you defend widows and orphans." It's a great line because it crystallizes, it shows us what we as followers ought to be concerned with. Now, was he isolating religion to just these two people groups? Are we only supposed to defend widows and orphans? Well, of course not. He was giving us a general principle. In those days, widows and orphans had no voice. They were seen as kind of throwaway, insignificant, disregarded people that had no voice. So James was telling us that if we want to follow Christ, we should be concerned about defending the defenseless, speaking up for and defending those that are weak. And we at First Baptist, we want to be a culture-shaping church. We want our culture to reflect the character and the heart and the nature of Jesus Christ, who was constantly looking out for those people that society saw as throwaways, insignificant people. Jesus moved toward them. James calls us to defend them. And I've got some friends with me today that are on the front lines that today in Salem, Oregon, are defending defenseless people. Maybe the most defenseless people, the most voiceless people that we can imagine, and that is the unborn. So I want to welcome my friend Bob Snyder and Maria Simile. They are both leading really, really exciting, vital ministries here at First Baptist Church, and we want to highlight what's going on. We want to inform you, we want to educate you, and then we want to give you some ways that you can get connected to these two important ministries. So I'll start with you, Bob. Bob is leading our 40 Days for Life campaign. So Bob, tell us a little bit about what 40 Days for Life is, what does it stand for, and why should we as a church care about it?
Thank you, Pastor Pausch. 40 Days for Life is a grassroots movement where people can stand on the sidewalk and pray and also fast. And that's the sidewalk at an abortion facility. And it's a very effective method. Our presence is a witness to people, and also we're praying. And God is working on the inside. So Christians can pray and fast, and they can stand on the sidewalk and put the two together, and you have 40 Days for Life.
Okay, I love it. Now talk to me about, let's say I'm an extremely introverted, shy person, and I just don't want conflict. And I know that when we talk about abortion things, it's politically and emotionally charged. So would I be able to do something like this if I'm super shy and I don't want conflict with anyone? Would this be for me?
Yes. Basically, it's a peaceful, prayerful stand on the sidewalk. And if you want to be there when there's the least likelihood of having conflict, a Saturday or a Sunday, both days Planned Parenthood is closed in Salem. And you can be there, or you can be there before it opens or after it closes. So yes, there are opportunities for you.
Now you were telling me a really cool story. Tell us about some positive encounters. A little bit of conflict, but talk to me about that story you told me about the woman that you were able to interact with just a couple days ago as an example of what really neat things can happen that are not aggressive and overt. Tell us that story.
Well, there's 40 Days for Life, and there's also another ministry that we work with, and that is Sidewalk Advocates for Life. And I was doing sidewalk advocacy a few days ago, and the Obria van from Lebanon was there. It's there every Monday, and it has pregnancy tests that it offers and also ultrasounds at no cost to the patient. And I was standing there on the sidewalk on the other side of the street, on Planned Parenthood side, and a lady came up to me and she asked me, Are you volunteering for Planned Parenthood? I said, no, I'm here for the babies and the mothers. And if you are interested, we offer free ultrasounds and free pregnancy tests, and she, I don't remember exactly what her response was, but I said, right over there, you can go for a free ultrasound. And she seemed delighted, and she marched right over there, and she went in, and I don't know what happened after that, but hopefully a baby was saved.
Amen. And one of the things I love about this ministry is it shows concern and compassion and kindness for both the mother and the unborn. And that is so significant in this dialogue, is that we are compassionate to the woman who's abortion vulnerable. She's maybe alone, feels ashamed or whatever, but for us to let her know we care about you is so important. So I love it. How do I get involved? If I want to join you, what do I do? How can I get involved? How can I join your team?
Well, you can get in touch with me, and I could give you my phone number or my email. But also, you can just go to our 40daysforlife.com/Salem website and register there, username and password. And there's a calendar there that you can choose hours that you want to be involved, or you can just sign up and get involved as you wish.
Okay. And there's also a link on the Salem First Baptist page as well. So if you went to the fbcsalem.org, you can find an icon to click and you can get all the information you need. So, yeah. Bob, thank you so much for being on the front line, for leading us, and for encouraging us today.
You're welcome.
Maria, you are involved in a myriad things, a bunch of different things, but one of them I know is the Life Chain.
Yes.
So talk to us about that. What's that ministry focused on, and how could we as a church get involved and support that?
Life Chain happens the first Sunday of October, and the reason for that is that that's the day before the Supreme Court goes into session. And so it's a time that Christians from churches all over Salem and all over the country gather at specified places and hold signs and pray in support of life and in support of women who are pregnant. And so it's very much like 40 Days for Life, but it's a one-time event. Okay. And it's just for an hour in the afternoon. So it's a great way to come out with people from your church, because the people in your church stand together. So you'll be with a whole group of people from your church. Signs are provided. So there'll be signs that are just available right there. So once you go to the website, SFB website, and find out where we're meeting, then it would be really easy to connect with people at church. And so you're not by yourself. We're all together. And the best thing about it, again, is that we are praying and asking the Lord to intervene. We pray and ask him to move, just like we do in 40 Days for Life, in which I also participate. Anybody can do it. And anybody of any age can pray. And so families do it together. And my favorite 40 Days for Life experience is this one young mom who came out with her 5-year-old and 3-year-old regularly to the sidewalk, but they'd come for about 10 minutes. That was all they could do. And they were bouncing all over, and they'd do some praying, and they had a sign, and it was a beautiful witness of the value of life and of the value of the women going into the clinic. And so however long you can participate in 40 Days for Life, it's normally an hour, but if all you can do is come by on the sidewalk for 10 minutes, if all you can do is come participate in Life Chain for 15 minutes because you have little kids, then come and do what you can do. There's something that everybody can do, and we can all pray, and we can all stand as a witness to show the beauty of life that God has created.
I love that. That's so many good things in that. We can't do everything, but we can do something. And there are so many opportunities for us. We just got done with our baby bottle campaign to support what's happening at the Hope Pregnancy Center, which you are also connected to. There's 40 Days for Life. There's the Life Chain. There are so many different ways. And I also love that picture of doing it together, doing it as a community, having some solidarity. There's strength in numbers, not physical strength. There's emotional strength to standing beside your church community and another church community on that street, not in an abrasive, aggressive, gross way, but in a way to just say, this is what I stand for, and I want to defend the defenseless, the voiceless, and the vulnerable.
When I first went to 40 Days for Life, 2 years ago when I moved to Salem, it was just a friend from church who went with me. And it was just such a wonderful way to do something together. And we went and prayed for an hour together and stood and prayed. And so I really recommend that you find a friend or go with your family and do that together. And if you can't find somebody, then come and talk to me, because I love to go with people for the first time who've never been. And
cool.
I'll go with you to the sidewalk.
Safety net.
And I will be there for Life Chain. And it's a wonderful way to offer up this need to the Lord and to offer up these defenseless babies to Him.
So when I show up to the street, you have all the signs. You'll be there with the sign, and I can show up and get my stuff.
My favorite sign is the one that says "Love them both," and it has an outline of the pregnant mom and the baby in the womb. But there are just so many great signs, like the ones for 40 Days for Life that say "Pray to End Abortion," that really show our focus on peaceful, prayerful, loving, and law-abiding ministry on the sidewalk. And we're a witness to the community, to everybody who passes by, and to everybody who's on their way to Planned Parenthood in 40 Days for Life.
I love it. I appreciate what you guys are doing. I'm so glad that you are part of our family and that you are helping to encourage and stimulate the rest of us to think about how we can move forward and advance. And we know that the Supreme Court, and we've had some really prominent cases recently in Texas, and we've got the Minnesota case coming up. It's raised the issue, and for us to respond in a prayerful, compassionate way, it makes the church look good, but more importantly, it emphasizes the heart of the Father, who loves every human person in the womb and outside of the womb. And we get to be a neighbor-loving, culture-shaping church, and you're helping us lead the charge. So thanks for being with us. Thanks for tuning in. We will help you find different ways to get connected to these ministries. You can always call the office, jump online. We'd love to have you serve along our friends and serve as part of Salem First Baptist Church. So have a great rest of the week. We'll see you on Sunday.